Okay, for this, this one's number 25 from 3.3 in math, 126 OE1. And we have this negative 4 times x plus 11 times x minus 12 times x minus 11 less than or equal to 0. I divide by negative 4 because when you have that negative, it's going to mess up your inequality. So dividing by negative 4 switches your inequality. So it's x plus 11 times x minus 12 times x minus 11 is greater than or equal to 0. That's what we're after, where this graph will produce values greater than or equal to 0. So I'm going to look at setting it equal to 0 to find where my zeros are. So I have x plus 11 equals 0, or x equals negative 11. X minus 12 equals 0, or x equals 12. And x minus 11 equals 0, or x equals 11. So if I'm looking at my chart of values, I'm going to have this negative 11, 11, and 12. Remember, it goes from small to large. My factors are x plus 11, x minus 12, and x minus 11. Okay, now we need some test values, so I'll change that to red. A number that's smaller than negative 11 and negative 12. Between negative 11 and 11 is 0. Between 11 and 12 would be 11.5. And bigger than 12 would be 13. I could extend that line a little bit. So, negative 12 plus 11 is negative. Negative 12 minus 12 is negative. Negative 12 minus 11 is negative. A negative times a negative times a negative is a negative. And again, we're looking for where it's going to be positive because we divided by that negative 4. Put a 0, we get a positive. Put a 0 here, we get a negative and a negative. A negative, or positive times a negative is a positive. Now we have 11.5, that's going to be positive. 11.5 minus 12 is negative. 11.5 minus 11 is positive. A positive times a positive is a negative. Finally, 13. 13 plus 11 is positive. 13 minus 12 is positive. 13 minus 11 is positive. So that's all positive. I do want to point out one thing. Notice that when they change sign, they stay changed. And that makes sense because these are linear terms. Now, if this was not linear, it wouldn't necessarily be this way. Being linear terms, once it changed from a negative to a positive, or if you had a different type of term, it could go from a positive to a negative, it stays changed. Okay, so we want to know where it's going to be greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0. And none of these are in the denominator, so we got this part and we have this. So the interval is going to be negative 11 to 11. Union that with 12 to infinity. And that's it.